The ultimate news portal for the Philadelphia Phillies is on the air, bringing you everything about Philly's most traditional franchise.
Stay tuned for behind-the-scenes trade rumors and analysis of the big plays because our bulletin starts right now.
The clock is ticking. Somewhere in a war room in Cincinnati, a decision has been made that could change the entire complexion of the National League playoff race. A star, a slugger, a proven right-handed bat with legitimate 30-home run power, and he's about to become available to the highest bidder or the fastest team to hit the claim button. 48 hours. That's all the time baseball is giving contenders to make a decision that could define their October. And Dave Dombrowski is watching every single second of that clock. Because right now, sitting in first place, sitting in a playoff position, the Philadelphia Phillies have a glaring hole. A hole that everyone in baseball knows about. A hole that opposing pitching coaches exploit every single series. This team cannot hit left-handed pitching consistently, not with the line of construction they currently have. And the name that just hit the waiver wire might be the exact answer nobody saw coming. Let's rewind for a second, because context here is everything. The Phillies were aggressive at the trade deadline. Everyone saw it. Dombrowski doesn't sit on his hands when there's a championship window open. And this era of Phillies baseball has one of the most talented championship windows this franchise has had in over a decade. They went out and got Luis Arraez, a batting average machine, a player who simply does not strike out. On paper, that's a phenomenal buy low, buy smart move for a lineup that needed more consistent contact. But here's the problem. Arraez bats left-handed, and this Phillies lineup, when you strip it down to the studs, is loaded with left-handed and switch-hitting bats. Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Brandon Marsh. The list goes on. Against a nasty left-handed reliever in a tight October game, that lineup can go cold in an instant. This is not new information. Front offices around the league have scouted this Phillies roster for years and know exactly how to attack it, bringing a lefty specialist in the 7th inning. And suddenly Philadelphia's lineup turns into a shell of itself. That is a real, tangible weakness heading into the most important month of the season. So when the news broke that Cincinnati was placing Eugenio Suarez on outright waivers, phones started buzzing across every front office in baseball, but especially in Philadelphia. Let's talk about who Eugenio Suarez actually is, because the name alone should make Phillies fans sit up straight in their seats. This is a legitimate right-handed slugger. A proven veteran with a track record of doing serious damage against left-handed pitching over the course of his career. Last season, in 2025, splitting time between Arizona and Seattle, Suarez was an absolute monster. He slashed .228, .298, .526, 49 home runs, 118 RBI, 49 home runs. Read that again. That's not a complimentary piece. That's a middle-of-the-order force capable of changing a game with one swing. And yet somehow, in an off-season where power bats were getting paid, Suarez's market completely dried up. Nobody wanted to give him the multi-year, big-money deal his 2025 season seemed to demand. It's one of the strangest free agency outcomes in recent memory. Cincinnati ended up scooping him up on a one-year deal, hoping lightning would strike twice, hoping it could be the final piece that got them back to the postseason for a second consecutive year. At the time, it made complete sense. This is a disaster now, because Suarez has not been the same hitter in Cincinnati. Not even close. This season, he's slashing .208, .295, .410, 19 home runs, 57 RBI. That's a massive drop-off from the monster season just 1 year prior. The batting average is cratered. The consistency has evaporated. And for a Reds team that needed him to be a stabilizing force in that lineup, this has been a significant disappointment. But here's where the story gets interesting. Here's where Dombrowski's chess pieces start to move. Because even in a down year, even with a batting average hovering around the Mendoza line territory, Suarez still has an OPS over 700. He's still hitting the ball hard. He's still capable of turning around a fastball and putting it into the second deck. This isn't a finished player. This is a talented hitter, having a rough year in the wrong situation. And that's exactly the kind of buy low asset contending teams dream about landing in late August. Think about it from a pure baseball strategy lens for a second. The Phillies don't need Suarez to be an everyday starter. They don't need him to play 7 days a week and carry the offense on his back. They need a role player, a specific weapon deployed at the right moment, a right-handed bat off the bench who can step in against a tough lefty in the 6th or 7th inning of a playoff game and change the entire complexion of an at-bat. That is exactly the profile Eugenio Suarez fits right now. Dombrowski is playing chess while other front offices are playing checkers. This isn't about splashy headlines. This is about championship depth. This is about the tiny margins that separate teams that win in October from teams that go home in the first round. Now let's talk logistics, because this waiver process is where things get fascinating. Suarez has been placed on outright waivers by Cincinnati. That means any team in baseball has a shot to put in a claim over the next 48 hours. Priority typically goes based on record, with teams lower in the standings getting first crack in their respective league before it opens up across baseball. The complicating factor here is money. Suarez is still owed a significant chunk of salary for the remainder of the season, whichever team claims and takes on that financial obligation. For a small market team already dealing with a disappointing season, that price tag might scare some clubs away. But for a team like the Phillies, a team with payroll flexibility and a legitimate championship window, that's a price worth paying for immediate right-handed thump. This is where leverage becomes the biggest word in the entire conversation. If teams are hesitant because of the money owed, that works in Philadelphia's favor. Less competition means a higher chance of successfully placing that claim and adding a proven slugger without giving up a single piece of the roster or a single prospect. No trade package. No Los ING, a young arm from the farm system. Just money and a waiver claim. For a front office that already gave up assets at the deadline to get Arias, that's an incredibly efficient way to fill the exact roster hole they still have. Let's zoom out for a second and think about what this means for October baseball. Picture a division series game. Bottom of the 7th inning. The Phillies are down a run. The opposing manager brings in a nasty left-handed specialist to face Kyle Schwarber or Bryce Harper. Right now, in that exact scenario, the Phillies' bench is thin. The counter punch simply isn't there in a dominant way. Now, picture that same scenario with Eugenio Suarez sitting in the dugout, waiting for his number to be called. A former 49 home run hitter. Somebody who has done exactly this job before on a massive stage. That single swing, that single potential home run off the bench, could be the difference between advancing to the next round or packing up the lockers for the winter. This is the kind of move that doesn't show up as a highlight in August, but absolutely gets remembered in October. It's a low-risk, high-reward swing at exactly the right time of year, but not everybody sees it that way. And this is where Phillies Nation needs to have an honest conversation with itself. Is adding a struggling hitter with declining underlying stats actually the smart move here? Or is this front office simply chasing a name from a season ago that no longer exists? There's a real split happening in the fan base already, and it deserves to be talked about. On one side, you have fans who see this as a brilliant, low-cost gamble, a team taking a shot on a proven slugger at a fraction of the risk, simply because his previous season's numbers were video game level absurd. On the other side, you have fans who look at that .208 batting average and wonder if the front office is chasing a ghost, a player whose skills might genuinely be eroding in real time. So here's the real question Phillies Nation needs to answer. Would you be comfortable handing significant playoff at-bats to a hitter who is currently batting under 200, simply because of what he did the year before? Would you trust Eugenio Suarez in a bases loaded, 2-out situation in Game 3 of the NLCS, knowing his season-long numbers right now are inconsistent at best? Or does the idea of adding proven right-handed power, even in a down year, outweigh those concerns completely? This is the kind of debate that splits a fan base right down the middle. And honestly, there's no clean, easy answer. Championship teams often take calculated risks in August that look either brilliant or reckless in hindsight. There is no in-between with a move like this. If Suarez comes to Philadelphia and rediscovers even 60% of his 2025 form, this move gets talked about as one of the smartest depth additions of the entire season. If he continues to struggle, this becomes a forgotten footnote, a minor financial commitment that simply didn't pan out. But right now, in this exact moment, with the waiver clock ticking down, Philadelphia has a decision to make. Do they roll the dice on a former 49 home run slugger looking for a fresh start? Or do they stand pat with the roster that got them to first place, trusting internal options to solve the left-handed pitching problem? Dombrowski has built a reputation on being aggressive when championship windows are open, and this current era of Phillies baseball is undeniably one of those windows. The next 48 hours will tell us everything about how this front office views their October chances. So here's what we need from you right now. If you believe the Phillies should absolutely put in that waiver claim and take the swing on Eugenio Suarez, smash that like button and let this front office feel that energy. And if you're on the other side, if you think this is a move that could backfire in the worst way, drop that opinion in the comments right now. This fan base needs to hash this out, because whatever happens in the next 2 days, this Philly season is heating up fast, and you do not want to miss a single update. Subscribe right now, turn on those notifications, and stay locked in with us, because when the biggest moves in baseball happen, we're going to be the first ones breaking it down for Phillies Nation. The countdown clock is ticking. Let's see what Dombrowski does next.